Okay, here we go. I'm Gabriel Ritchie,
I'm Jeremiah McConan.
and welcome to the Ritchie and Mecco Connection. Jay, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you
Um,
too, bro.
Action-packed show today. We were going to
hmm
do a second. Last week, you were basically the home team, and you threw a bunch of topics I had no idea about at me, and I set up a bunch of topics throughout the week for you. However, in the past few days alone, bunch of big news we have to get through. We have three major topics, and then we'll get to a little freestyle after. Of course, we have to start with Bill Russell, the
Yeah,
greatest Celtic of all time, Mount Rushmore of NBA greats, and in my opinion, I don't know about you, Jay. Where did you have him in your top 50?
I think I had him like sixth.
Six. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
have him fourth, and those top four, it's gonna be hard for anybody to move past them for a very long time. Uh, and yeah, let's just Bill Russell. Let's just get into it. Obviously, in the news in the past couple months, really, people have been talking about errors and the JJ Redick. One of the things I had
Oh,
written down for you later on is the JJ Redick Jerry West beef.
okay.
With the Jerry West clapping back at him. It's like when the logo claps back at you, what are you gonna say, right?
Facts.
Uh anyways, I was an argument myself defending Russell 3 weeks ago against somebody who didn't know what they were talking about. So I'm proud that you and I and a lot of other people have always, he was so great, even though it was so long ago. He was so great that it lasted. It stood, his accomplishments stood the test of time, and they always will.
hmm
And a lot of people have said this before. Not the greatest player of all time, but the most important player of all time. A trailblazer, of course, with civil rights. We're going to get into everything, of course, with civil rights, but then also just what he did for the game of basketball. With him and Red
Definitely.
Auerbach with the fast break and building the first dynasty, by Bill Simmons standards, it's really the only dynasty there's ever been ever.
Right.
Uh,
Got to
crazy.
win 10 rings to qualify.
Before I ask you about Bill Russell and whatnot, I want to just go through some specific accomplishments of his,
Okay.
and I'll go down the line here. And this is from an article from Chris Forsberg that he put up a couple days ago. But this is just the statistics I found from it. So obviously, 11 NBA championships, most all time, more rings
Sheesh.
than fingers.
Yeah.
Two NBA titles as a player and head coach, 1968 and 69. First black head coach in NBA history. NBA Finals MVP trophy named in his honor beginning in 2009. Two NCAA championships with the University of San Francisco. Two
Wow, I
first
didn't know
team
that.
All American USF. Yeah, Bob Ryan went on, and I never watch Around the Horn these days, especially not in the summertime. They had
I
Bob
see
Ryan
that.
on. It was a different type of episode. There was no points and whatnot. They just had Bob Ryan on for like 10 minutes talking
Yeah.
about Russell. And he said, like, starting in 55, when he starts in college, he rips off the greatest run an American athlete will ever have with the 14 championships
It's the
or whatever
born
it was,
winner.
because he won twice in college as well. So
It's crazy.
1956 Summer Olympic gold medal, 2011 Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, five-time MVP of the league. That's the second most all time. 2019 NBA Lifetime Achievement Award, 11 All NBA selections, 12 NBA All Star selections, 1963 NBA All Star Game MVP, 2000 21,620 career rebounds. That's the second most all time. And here we go, 21 and 0. And this is the stat that I've heard of. I know my uncle
Yeah.
Tom always talked about how great Russell was. And this is the stat he would bring up. And you've heard Bob Ryan bring up. All of the real NBA historians bring this one up when
hmm
when you want to argue, oh, how good was Russell? 21 and 0 record in winner take all games. That includes NCAA tournament, the Olympic medal round, and deciding NBA games, game
That's
sevens, and then
amazing,
sometimes game
man.
five back then. A 10 and 0 record in NBA game sevens. And here's a really, and this is something only he can say, only NBA player named to the NBA's official 25th, 35th, 50th, and
Ooh,
75th anniversary teams,
that's pretty
and a
cool.
member of the Naismith Memorial College and FIBA Hall of Fames. The
Wow.
the only player named to the 25th, 35th. It was interesting that so that means Wilt wasn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wilt wasn't. Of
Was
course, I hold Russell far above. I have Wilt 10 right now.
Yeah,
I believe Steph Curry will pass him. I have Russell at 4. So of
yeah.
course I think Russell's better, but I can't believe that Wilt didn't make that
Damn,
list.
yeah.
Maybe I
Will
have to
didn't
go
make the
back and think about that.
25? That's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
hard to believe, right? I wonder what the deal
Yeah,
was. Maybe it was voted by the players, and obviously to go
yeah.
on about Russell, I'll let you talk in a second. Sorry, I've definitely been
No, no, you're good. I love this.
rambling and rambling, but I believe it. Maybe if it was voted by players, everybody loves Russell. Everybody respected him. He was
Yeah.
there for his teammates. Not once did he ever. You hear great. Simmons calls him the greatest teammate of all time. Not once did he ever come at his teammates publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and obviously, there's a lot of guys you could say, "Oh, Russell played with this many Hall of Famers." There's probably a lot of guys that can say they're in the Hall of Fame because they played with Bill Russell.
Yeah.
But I could talk about the guy all day. I never watched him play live. Obviously, I was born about 40 years later.
A
But
little bit late to that
in
party.
terms of all-time favorite athletes, despite all of that, he's definitely up there for me. And just the real article, just the real deal, because he says
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff. He, he's not a he doesn't put himself through the public relations machine. Like you can tell his quotes out there, he speaks his mind, he speaks the truth. The beef with
Facts.
Boston, like, oh, he isn't, yeah, they were racist to me and this and that. And I'm never gonna return to Boston. All that. As he should feel that, or should have felt that. Eventually he does. It seems like he does make amends with the city,
Mm-hmm.
but I like that he felt that way. That shows real. And with all of that, all of the, obviously he was always unfiltered. With all of that, you can say, "Wow, what a guy!" Because he never said something that crossed the line. He never said anything that would warrant, especially a guy from that time period. He has no skeleton. It doesn't seem like he has any skeletons in the closet, and I think that's something that I haven't heard many people mention. That
Yeah,
yeah, this guy always spoke his mind, but he was always right.
for
And I
sure.
love that about him. But Jay, please
Yeah, nah,
take
man,
it away.
those are amazing stats that you just numbered off there. The thing, man, when people be like, "Oh, he played in that era," like we've made this argument before. I think when we did our top
It's
50
the
all
theme of this
time.
podcast. I feel like we bring it
Yeah,
up every few weeks.
I mean, we have to sometimes with the way these people be just chatting, bro. But it's like, yo, you can only compete with what you have, like what your reality is in that moment. And if you was a great in that moment, then you should be regarded as a great, period. So that's why, when we hold Russell to such high regard, and people might say, oh, this is the only idiots like JJ Redick saying, oh, he played against plumbers. It's like, well, first of all, he didn't play against plumbers. Like this dude was playing it in an era against Wilt, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. Like there was some real great, great players during this time when Russell was winning. And then at the same time, it's like, yo, you can only play your competition. And like now today, guys are great, but they're not, they haven't separated themselves from the pack like Russell did. And to me, that's like the highest standard I think we should measure greatness by. And another thing with Russell, like the way you had mentioned how he went through all this shit in Boston with the racism and all that, and like they was throwing bricks into his crib,
Mm-hmm.
throwing smearing shit on his wall, all types of shit. But he never let that affect his play on the court. Like you was saying, he was always sort of that, that it's sort of example you want as a perfect teammate, where it's like he may have gone, he probably went, man, like the shit these players think they go through today, like does not compare to what dudes was going through back then. And as he never asked for, oh, I can't trade, I'm done playing in Boston, trade me this and that. I hope you're listening, Katie. But nah, but like, man, he just like you said, like he just was the ultimate teammate. He was all about his teammates. He put the team first.
Yeah.
I was watching some clips too. Like the dude was an athlete, bro. Like people forget, like these guys
Oh
back
my
then were still
gosh.
moving
Jumping over
crazy, bro.
human,
Yeah,
jumping over like guys who
that
are six
picture you
foot
sent,
five.
where he jumps over a guy to block a
Havlicek.
guy.
Yeah,
That's
like
that's stupid, bro.
these are real NBA players. People have this idea in their head that back then it's because the greatest players back then were Russell and Chamberlain.
Right.
Russell was 6'9", Chamberlain was like 7'2".
Mm-hmm.
Giants, So
Right.
people do look small next to them, but not everybody in the league back then was 5'11". Like
That's what
every
I'm saying. Yeah.
it was actually like the median height or whatever.
Probably like
like a mean
6'1" or
height.
6'2" or some
Well,
shit, I
no, it
bet.
was
Or was it
the same
taller?
as it is today. Last time I checked.
What's that, like six? What is that?
I can't really. I'm not really sure. I could look
But
that up
it's for sure
later.
over
But
6 feet, I'm sure.
yeah, no, you
And
still
these
had to
were
be tall
grown
back then.
men.
You still had to be
Yeah.
tall back then to be in
Yeah.
the NBA. Of
Right.
course, the athleticism wasn't always there, but there were still freak athletes, like you just mentioned. Bill Russell
Mm-hmm.
would just glide in the air, and also,
Bro,
yeah,
he was taking fast. He was like a one-man fast break. Like
he could
that's when I was
dribble. He
watching
was a
his
big
like
man that could
tapes.
dribble.
Facts, bro. I was like, oh no, this dude actually was moving different. Because I knew about the defense and I would watch. I remember there was one time I tried to watch like a full game and it was in black and white on YouTube.
Yeah,
And like he was just moving different.
yeah.
Like you could tell like that shit would translate into any era, that
Oh, for
athleticism.
sure.
And that's sort of like, my point being is like he was truly a great in his era. And that's, we hold that standard because if you were a great in your time and if you
Yes.
were so ahead of your peers, that matters the most, I think, to both of us when we're ranking greatness.
Yeah, because
But at
he
the
would
same
adapt
time,
today.
exactly. But at the same time, that shit could definitely translate. So
Hmm.
shout out Russell, man. Of course, all the off the court stuff with the civil rights movement leading that. Man, it's a great human being. So it's definitely a sad loss for the Boston community, the NBA community, everyone, anyone if you just care about, being a decent human being, this was a sad loss. And
Oh, this is not
rest in
like,
peace to him.
and I get it. Obviously, incredible basketball player,
Right.
and that's an
It,
understatement.
but it was bigger than
But
that with him.
I want to first and foremost enforce the fact that America lost one of the greatest Americans, and like
Yeah,
the world lost one of the
facts.
greatest human beings there will ever be.
Exactly.
Uh, Real quick, back to his, like I said, he said how he felt about the city of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always curious growing up, like even before hearing about this stuff and even before being mature to understand a lot of this stuff, like, okay, this guy won 11 championships. All people talk about is Larry Bird and Bobby Orr and Ted
Mm.
Williams. What's going on here? I just found this article because a quote comes to mind, and I think I said it when we did the top 50 and we got to Russell.
Yeah.
And it's from Tommy Heinsohn, another guy who we lost a couple years ago, another Celtic great.
Yeah.
And that's why I love about those Celtics teams is obviously they paved the way, first all black starting five, but then the way they rode for each other, white or black,
Facts.
that means a lot to me too. The way you hear his teammates years later ride for him in a way you don't
Mm-hmm.
always hear. Watch The Last Dance. The way some of those bulls feel about Michael Jordan. Uh it's not always this way.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, over the course of his career, let me just pull up the source real quick for you guys. Yeah, Fadeaway World More Than Sports is the article. Is from Lee Tran. And I'm gonna skip down a
Shout
little
out
bit.
Lee.
But oh yeah, over the course of his career, Bill Russell has not received the best treatment in the city of Boston. There was one, and you mentioned this, I believe, just a few minutes ago. There was once an incident where fans broke into his house and did a variety of vile actions, such as spray painting racist words in his living room. Teammate Tommy Heinsohn once blasted the city of Boston for the way they treated Russell, pointing out that Russell won 11 championships in 13 years, but that the city named a tunnel after baseball player Ted Williams instead. Of course, genuine achievement is everywhere. Oh my God, what is this in another language? Of course, genuine achievement is everywhere devalued these days. On the 200th anniversary of his death, George Washington has been so forgotten that they're toting his false teeth around the Republic, trying to restore interest in the father of our country with the celebrity style gimmick. So should we be surprised that one spectacular show off dunk on yesterday's highlight reel counts more than some ancient decades worth of championships before Larry and Magic really invented the sport of basketball? Tommy Heinsohn, who played with Russell for 9 years and won 10 NBA titles himself as a player and coach, sums it up best. Look, all I know is the guy won two NCAA championships, 50 something college games in a row, the 56 Olympics, and
That's
then came to
crazy.
Boston, won 11 championships in 13 years, and they named the fucking tunnel after Ted Williams. By that standard, only a cathedral on a hill deserves to have Bill Russell's name attached to it. Yeah, I
I feel
mean,
him. I feel him.
He's definitely one of the most underrated athletes ever.
for
When you really
sure.
take all of that into account, how absurd his accomplishments are. Like you said earlier, you can only play against your competition. But as we were going to get into later, I was going to bring up the Jerry West thing now. Now I'm sort of incorporating him here because I feel like it's sort of on the back burner
Little
also.
tease.
It's kind of falling out of the news cycle.
Yeah.
But I do think people in general, and you believe this too, we sort of underrate how competitive the league was back then.
Hmm.
And not to mention, and we've said this before, please, evergreen episode, guys, go check out the top 50 NBA. If you haven't listened to our top 50 list, please go check it out. We there's 5 hours worth of like
Yeah.
our takes on there, and you can learn a lot. If you're a casual basketball fan, you can learn a lot about the league's history if you go back and listen to those
Yeah. I still
to
think
that
that was our
top
best
50.
work,
Yeah,
honestly.
for sure. Um, but yeah, they're put on a pair of Converse All Stars, some Chuck Taylors, and go out and play basketball at the pickup
Facts. Yeah.
when you
With
play
the with the
pickup, and
with the
your
chucks,
feet are
bro.
gonna feel terrible
Yo, that's
after.
a good
They were not
point.
playing that. Obviously, he was dealing with racism and
Yeah.
everything else while achieving his dream, taking buses here and there, walking through fields to get to some of these games. There
Yeah.
was no private planes. There was no anything. There was no investing millions of dollars into your
Hmm.
body. They're
Right.
making at most 100,000 a year back then.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
please do yourself a favor, study up on Bill Russell. The game is not what it is without him. If you love
Hmm.
basketball, you gotta love Bill Russell.
Yo, another
Um,
thing I remembered, Gabe, was when
mhm,
remember when Jackie McMullen, shout out her,
yeah,
when she was doing the Icons Club, that those little
yeah,
series of
Russell and Wilt,
episodes.
yeah,
Yeah, and she was doing Russell, and I was just remembering how she was talking about, and this is like some, I feel like the great players, like the really great players, like they just have this way of thinking, like the way they approach the game mentally. And she was talking about the sort of art of war that Russell used against Wilt,
yes, yes.
where he would like Russell would
Have
obviously
him
go
over
at
for
him.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Right, yeah, but
Let him
then
stay at his
he let him
house.
get his little 40 points and
Yes,
30
yes.
rebounds to keep him at bay and then have him, like you said, have him over for dinner and shit. Like this dude was just on another level, man.
Yeah,
Like, he's just really an amazing player, like from all aspects, amazing person. But yeah, man, I don't know what else I could add. The dude was just great.
we could definitely go on forever.
We could, yeah, if we really wanted
And
to.
maybe we will. I don't know. I mean, we do have some very important, not as we won't be talking about our
Unfortunately,
next subjects in the same manner.
yeah,
But
different
yeah,
tone.
yeah, I guess let's wrap it up. Rest in peace, Bill Russell, 88 years old. That's a long time to live
It's a
for a
great
guy
life.
from that era who was also 6'9".
Yeah,
Once you were 6'9", you were freakishly tall, and 88's a long life. 88's like 100 for that.
yeah,
Um,
facts.
and and yeah, God bless him. God bless him.
Definitely.
Definitely gonna go down more rabbit holes of his
Old
in the
school
coming
black and
days.
whites for
Yeah.
sure.
But not the best transition, but let's move on to Deshaun Watson. Six
Oh
games.
man,
Are you surprised? I'm not. Nothing the
I'm
NFL will
I'm
ever
not
do will
either.
surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, bro. I mean, yeah, so yeah, 6 games. Like immediately, the first thing you saw on Twitter was like, "Oh, Calvin Ridley got a year." But we both know that the NFL they're gonna prioritize protecting their product and
Hmm.
sort of the integrity of the game versus sicko gambling on parlays and shit, which kind of sucks. But we know the NFL like that's our guilty pleasure as Americans, and we know all the flaws it comes
That's
with,
the thing. Yep.
and
Yep.
we got to sort of accept it,
And that's something
honestly.
we have to do before we even get to this conversation is
Yeah,
this is disgusting.
for sure. Yeah,
We
it's just
all play a
horrible.
small role in it
Hmm.
because every Sunday from September
Yeah.
to February 1st or February 2nd, whenever the Super Bowl is, we wake up with a little glitter in our eye, a little gleam, little extra pep in our step because it's football Sunday. And
Yeah, I
you're
seen this
taking this
tweet.
you're taking this stuff with it. All right, what's the tweet? I
Uh-huh.
know this is gonna be funny.
Kind of funny. It was like it's 10 p.m. on a Sunday. You just ate your leftover wings and haven't had water since noon. The third string tight end you bet on at plus 700 just scored. Life is good. 6 more weeks away.
Oh man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we're sick,
we
man.
dive right into it,
For
but we
sure.
know the way this league is run, some of the individuals that participate in it, it's
Mhm.
disgusting. It's
Yeah.
absolutely disgusting. And football is all that truly matters to these people. And Deshaun Watson is one of the best, has one of the most gifted quarterbacks in the NFL for some time now. And they didn't have him at all last year. They want to get him out on the field. They know this will draw even more eyes to the product with this scandal. Even more
Yeah.
people will be watching now,
Yo,
especially,
it's that's a good point.
and
Yeah.
it just came into my head like people are gonna be like, oh my god, it's almost like watching a car crash. Yeah,
Hmm.
everybody's driving by the two cars that have collided with each other and just can't take their eyes off of it.
Bro,
That's sort
literally
of
at
gonna be the
training
vibe of
camp,
it.
like at training camp after I
You hear
guess
them
the
clap
news
for him?
dropped, and then at training, dude, they were like all over him. Like he was
Yeah, like Hulk
a
Hogan at
fucking
WrestleMania 3.
yeah, bro. And I'm like, so like you're right, bro. Like people, this is just gonna like that Homelander scene again was the second straight week we're referencing that scene, but it's the same thing, bro. It's like
All right.
this man, yo, I could actually be sick in it. People actually might love me more for it. But like, it's kind of crazy. Like, so okay, you know what was funny, bro? I didn't even know this when I was sort of doing my little research. The NFL actually asked for a year suspension initially,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted him to get fined for like $5 million. And then the formal federal judge, her name is Sue Robinson, she decided that 6 games was enough, citing non-violence as part of the reason why it shouldn't
Right.
have like it didn't have to be a lengthy suspension. And I texted you this
You
yesterday. I'm
you
like,
were on the money
it's
immediately.
not non-violent, but bro, the power dynamics with a football player, like just because it's not like quote unquote violent, doesn't mean that that fear factor for the woman is there. Because there's a real
Right.
power dynamics when it's this multi-million-dollar guy who's, all of a sudden this dude just changes the whole atmosphere of the room and starts, literally enter sickle mode. So I seen that non-violent thing and I'm like, that's bullshit. And then, I mean, it kind of sucks too, because this is just off the cusp of the Supreme Court. We already know with the abortion thing, them ruling that reversing Roe v. Wade. So it's like, man, this is just, I don't know what's going on with our,
It's a
our
mess.
court system right now, bro,
Yeah,
but
you
this shit's
think
a mess.
you think at the end of the day decency wins and it truly
Oh man.
oftentimes does not.
Nah,
Um
it's crazy, bro. And then she also said, because there's no precedent for this, the 6 game suspension is the precedent. And I guess that's another thing. Like, I think that's just a flaw in our court system. Cause like the way usually shit works with courts, it's like if something happens, like a sort of a big scale case like this, they reference past cases and they sort of go off that, and that's the precedent. That's usually how a ruling happens. But now if you're setting the precedent that a guy who, what was, bro, it was like 60, I know only
it's
24
over
filed
50,
lawsuits, but
right?
it's like 60 something, right? The woman that actually said
Mm-hmm.
this guy did some shit. Like if that's the precedent you're setting for behavior like that, man, like you're just asking for this behavior to continue on. I hate
Right.
to say it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro. And then of course Watson, he denies everything, but then the
He maintains
Browns,
his I'm not sure how
it's so weird.
you maintain your innocence while also settling with these women. Because if you were
Mm-hmm.
truly innocent, you would just fight it to the bitter end, would you not?
Exactly. That's a
Instead of
good
paying out
point.
millions and millions. And the NFL sees that as just like whatever.
Yeah, they
They're
don't care.
it's all alleged. It's all alleged. It's like, well, no, he's settling with these women.
Right.
Um, I mean, hey, I saw this. I saw a tweet a while back,
Yeah.
and it said, "He who has not had gotten 50 massages from 50 different women in a year, may cast the first stone."
Nah.
I mean, I don't know how often you get massages, but
I mean, I've never actually gone to a masseuse, to be honest, like a professional type deal.
yeah,
I had this friend in at that sounded crazy. But this is boy. Shout out Ash, bro. I don't know if he listens, but he was
I
a
know
friend of ours
I
at
know
UMass.
Ashbel. Yeah,
He's a Rosendale
yeah,
kid. Yeah, you
yeah,
probably
yeah,
do know
yeah.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Him and Danny
Bro, that
Chan.
dude is a professional masseuse, man. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
is he?
lie. Bro, he will literally change your life. Not in the negative way that Deshaun might change your life. His is more positive.
How
positive
when
tone.
when
But
Ashbel gives you massages, how big is the towel that you use um to cover your body?
I try to just, a little, the little FaceTime. Nah.
Oh my god.
Nah, but yeah, I've been, to be honest, yeah, I'm not too familiar with like the massages and shit like that, but
Well, no. The joke is nobody fucking does that. Nobody
right,
has that many
exactly.
masseuses. He was obviously on some bullshit,
For sure.
like almost like a serial killer, like going from town to town, or
Yeah,
moving from woman to woman. Like, who's my next victim? This is literally some. They are victims. They are victims in this
100%.
situation. Uh, we might sound like we're joking about it, but we're not. This
No,
is a
no, we're
truly
yeah,
disgusting situation.
yeah.
And again, though,
But we're not
are we
surprised.
surprised? No, obviously
Yeah.
not. Greg Hardy, what he like, there was proof they like destroyed, like he beat the shit out of his girlfriend. He only got four
Jesus.
games.
Kareem Hunt like literally punted his girlfriend, did the Randy
That
Orton
was crazy
punt.
too. Is he still on the Browns?
Yeah, he's still on the
Oh
Browns.
my
That
god.
sicko collecting fantasy points for Momo.
We gotta get Nick
Ah,
Chubb out of there.
yeah, bro.
We gotta get
The
my boy
NFL
Chubb out
is
of there.
sick, man. Like the NFL is just a sick league, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny too, Gabe. I seen so Watson, of course, he denies everything, and but then the Browns on the statement they put out yesterday said he's remorseful. So it's like, all right, he's denying
How?
everything, or
Pick
is he
one.
remorseful? Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which
You
one is
can't
it?
have both.
And then some little sleazy shit that I seen that the Browns did to make sure that their boys' pockets didn't get hurt. The signing bonus he got was 45 million, bro, which is like unheard of.
Yeah.
So he actually only ended up getting fined $345,000, which is a fucking
That's
it's a
insane.
penny in the bucket, bro. So
Right.
obviously the Browns were preparing for this. They was trying to protect their boy, even though the NFL is sort of try to seem like the good guy in this situation, talking about we
No.
wanted a year, 5 mil. Yeah, exactly. We really know where the NFL stands
Well,
with these
I
things, and
heard,
it's
forget who
fucked, bro.
tweeted this, but this is like Goodell's chance to turn the
Mm,
perception about himself around. He could I guess he has the power in this situation to put his foot down, say, no, you're not
okay.
playing, through some certain rules or whatnot. Don't
Yeah.
quote me on this, but knowing Goodell,
He's gonna fucking
yeah, not
piss
not
his
much of a
pants.
spine, not much of a spine there.
Yeah. I don't trust him in this type of situation at all. I mean, why should we? We like,
Yeah, no,
there's no
us of all
reason
people
to.
too, with our history as Patriots
Right.
fans with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a disgusting situation. And I almost brought him up last week. Speaking of massage, do you remember the story Devin Welch told us about a certain massage he
Yo,
got?
bro, I swear to God, I was thinking
You
about
know
that
Devin
too.
Welch, right? The scientist. I told him
The
last week. I was
co-founder of
talking to Devin
NASA.
last week. Devin sent me something.
Oh no.
Devin sent me something. You know this.
Oh my God.
Skylar, my cancer has come back. No, sorry. But me and Jay both have coughs.
Facts,
Devin,
yeah.
Devin, this kind of stuff Devin sends sometimes.
There's a voice memo too, which just made
He,
it even
he,
more epic.
yes. But
Remember?
and we won't get into specifics. Don't worry, Devin. You're good. But Devin sent me something last week right before we got on, and I forgot to say something. I
Uh-huh.
forgot to mention it on last week's pod, but it was so whatever he sent was so insane on Snap that he had to delete it before I even saw it. You know how
That has to be crazy
you
then.
send somebody some sick shit and you delete it before they can screenshot it.
Yeah, right,
But he
right.
deleted before I could even see it.
Yeah, that's
And he was
crazy.
like, nah, it's too crazy. Now let me go and see. I told Devin that I might mention him
Oh, that's
on the
so
pod.
funny.
And let me tell you what Devin said. In true in true Deshaun fashion. Let me bring it up. Where
Oh, Dev, you
okay.
sick man.
Oh, I sent him something and he responds, you ain't doing shit. And it was like just a meme. And
Yeah.
Devin's just weird sometimes with
Yeah.
the way he responds to me. I said, I almost called you out on the pod yesterday. Was gonna say Devin sent something that I can't say what I said. Devin sent something so demonically blank, he wouldn't even allow me to view it for a second. And he responds, say it. I don't care. Nobody will believe you.
You sure about that, Dev? You sure
Jay
about
believes
that,
me.
man?
Jay believes me.
Oh,
But
100%. What? Knowing that guy?
it's all love, fam.
Oh
It's
man,
all love.
that's the guy for real. But
All right.
man, yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's
Deshaun's
the we're
sick.
gonna monitor that case. Hopefully we have some better news next week.
Yeah.
But from here on, from now on, it's not looking good.
Mm-mm.
Now, where is the report? Because we're
What's
gonna move
this?
on here. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Moving on to more NFL news. Who said the NFL is not a 12-month-a-year sport?
Right. They know how to keep they know how
Who
to
said
stay
they don't know how
relevant.
to control the calendar?
Come on now.
Maybe not for the right reasons,
Right, man.
but Jay, we gotta talk about our boy. He's in some trouble. You
Damn,
know,
Tom.
he didn't.
I mean, we saw this coming low key
We
though, because
did it
this
on
isn't
the
old
mobile
news,
episode. Remember our
or it's
mobile
not.
episode
Yeah. Oh
where
yeah,
I
yeah,
was on the
yeah,
road when we
yeah.
recorded?
That's when it
Yeah,
dropped.
we were talking about
Facts.
this, and then
Hmm.
we never sort of it sort of went away.
Right. It's funny that they dropped it the day after Deshaun news too, right? Isn't that timing kind of crazy?
Yeah,
It's like, are we supposed to
maybe,
forget about Deshaun now?
maybe
Like,
right.
what's up,
We're
Goodell?
supposed to,
But
yeah,
yeah, whatever.
but okay. I'm gonna read this report out because it's pretty damn new. So even
Okay.
I don't have all the details. But yeah, breaking Dolphins tampered with Bucks QB Brady. And people are criticizing the title of this saying
Just don't like that sentence one bit.
saying it makes it look like Brady's a victim or something, like he wasn't complicit in the tampering, like it wasn't a
Right.
back and forth conversation.
Yeah.
But here we go. In this certain report is from Scott Reynolds. It turns out rumors were true. The Miami Dolphins were having conversations with Bucks quarterback Tom Brady and former Saints coach Sean Payton about joining their franchise. The problem is that's tampering.
Mm.
The NFL revealed that an independent investigation had concluded and found the Dolphins and owner Stephen Ross guilty of tampering and impermissible communications with Brady while he was a member of the New England Patriots in the 2019-2020 season and while he was under contract with the Bucks in 2021. Brady's communication was with his friend Bruce Beal, who is the Dolphins vice chairman and limited partner. And just to say what the Dolphins will lose here because they are in trouble. The NFL announces findings and discipline following an independent investigation, blah, 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 blah. The Dolphins will forfeit a 2023 first round pick and a 2024 round pick. Owner Stephen Ross will be fined 1.5 million. Talk about a penny in a
Yeah,
bucket.
right.
And suspended through October 17th for tampering with Tom Brady and Sean Payton. Oh, what are the Dolphins going to do?
What does that even mean? An
What are
owner
they going to
getting
do without their
suspended?
owner?
Right.
That's gonna,
Oh my
yeah,
God, man.
that's gonna affect their play action.
For sure.
But yeah, 2023 first round pick. I mean, the Patriots, as Patriots fans with the Flakegate, we see what losing a first round pick can do.
Uh-huh.
Like sometimes all you need is one guy to turn
Yeah.
your season to
It's not like
make one
basketball,
stop in a
bro.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's not like basketball. Draft picks in football matter. That shit,
Yeah.
man.
The investigation revealed that discussions surrounding Mr. Brady becoming a limited partner in the Dolphins and possibly serving as a football executive,
Yeah.
although at times they included the possibility of playing for the Dolphins. Dolphins receive harsh punishment. As a result, the Dolphins were punished on Tuesday. As a result of the findings were made public, Miami will forfeit. Well, I just told you guys. Ross is also suspended, blah, blah, blah. Brady denied the Dolphins rumor in June.
Mm.
Brady was asked about any possible conversations he had with Miami during the
Damn, Brady.
offseason following the Bucks minicamp after he came out of retirement to play with Tampa in the 2022 season. Here's what Brady said.
Oh
Uh,
man.
Again, I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people as I've had for the last 3 or 4 years in my career about different opportunities when I am done playing football, Brady said in June. I kind of made a decision of what I'd like to do. I'll get to be in the game of football. I think the most important thing is where I'm at now and what I hope to do for this team. That has always been my commitment to this team and the organization. It's been so much fun since I came here 2 years ago. It's almost been 2.5 years now, and it's been an incredible part of my football journey. And it's not over. We still got a lot to accomplish. I've got a long life ahead, and there are fun things to do ahead. I'm looking forward to what's ahead in football, but at the same time, none of us are promised much beyond what we have now, and this is the current moment. I'm really excited about going out there and trying to compete and win a championship. And then the Dolphins, not just this is not just about Brady. They're also found guilty of tampering with Sean Payton.
Mm.
I know the Dolphins were also found tampering with Sean Payton. Miami wanted him to be its head coach with Brady possibly playing quarterback. I know of no prior instance of a team violating the prohibition on tampering with both a head coach and star player to to the potential detriment of multiple other clubs over a period of several years, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said. Similarly, I know of no prior instance in which ownership was so directly involved in the violations. And this goes back to what you said, Jay, where like once it starts to affect the game on the field, that's when they throw down the hammer.
Yeah,
They just do not,
facts.
because it is the product and it is the name on the front of the jersey and all that shit, and it's about the shield. Um, they're not human beings. That not in this. They don't look at each other as human beings. They don't value each other as human beings. From a corporate standpoint, it's just the product. You are affecting the product at that point.
100%.
So what do you think?
I mean, man, it kind of is. I mean, because I remember when the shit came out, and it was sort of tied to the Brian Flores thing. Remember the whole
Yeah.
Stephen Ross wanted Flores to meet a mystery quarterback on his boat, and apparently that mystery quarterback was Brady. So like I remember when that shit dropped, like it was all tight and then, and I just remember not feeling good about it. And I learned today that he was doing this in New England, which I'm not gonna totally, persecute him for that because we know how he was being treated,
And he was
especially that
moving
last
on
year.
anyways. I mean, the
Yeah,
contract was up. He honored the contract.
exactly.
This
So
isn't some
I'm
fucking
not gonna kill him for
requesting a
that.
NBA player. I'm requesting a
Right.
trade after signing a 4 year contract into my first year.
Yeah. So I'm not even mad at him for that. And I'm not mad at him for trying to honestly,
Look
get
at
into
life
the
after
ownership
football.
realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why not? Like athletes are doing that all the time. You see LeBron trying to buy a team. Like that shit's kind of normal now for these like for the real great athletes who can afford it at least. So I'm not even mad at him for that, but
But we
it
don't
sounds
like
like
that.
he
It's
was
Miami.
denying it. Like it sounds like he's capping from that June quote.
Yeah, it's a
And
non-answer. It didn't sound as much as
yeah,
denying it as just like giving a non-answer.
it was like the perfect Brady answer.
It
He's
was
he's
such a
good at
Brady
that.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know. I
He's
can't say
just the
I'm too
fucking
upset, but
him
it's
and Belichick are
weird.
the same at the podium. Brady's just like smiling while he
They're
says
bots,
whatever he
bro.
says.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're different, but they're the same. You're right.
Yeah.
It's just two different approaches, but it's the
Belichick is just
same.
like, I'm not answering that. And Brady's like, gives you a bullshit answer that
Yeah,
doesn't answer it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it leads you, you go down that road leads to the same destination, both sides. But I don't know. I hope. Oh, so I was gonna ask you, do you think he's gonna get suspended? Because then now
Sussy, Brady's going to get sussied.
if Brady gets sussy, I'm gonna be sick because that's twice now.
That's a bad look on his
That's
career.
a
But we
that's a
know the
bad
first
look.
one was bullshit.
I'm hit. No, it is for sure, but just the fact that it's two times, like
It's
now
so
it's like,
funny. It's like he's the bad boy or something. And
right?
he's not.
He's really not.
Uh
Uh that's what I'm really concerned
that's
about, to be
it would
honest, more
help.
than anything
I mean, it
else.
would help the old man to play less football and then get hot at the right time.
A
And
little light 4 games, you think?
yeah, I mean,
We got
it
Blaine
did him good the
Clabbert as
first
the
time
backup.
around.
What the hell is even
If
the
y'all
backup
think
on
this is gonna
Tampa?
stop me from rooting for Tom, you're sadly mistaken, by the
Yeah,
way.
not no way. He has to actually kill someone, bro, for me to not like him. Like he has to do something
Tom could
just
walk into the middle of whatever and
the
shoot a guy
fucking.
straight in the face and still cheer for him.
I was oh man, I was oh yeah. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no, we still gonna ride with him. This is our guy. Like we saw it last week when that video surfaced of him at training camp. We got giddy again, just like little schoolgirls. Like we're always gonna rock with Tom again, unless he does some actual fucking evil shit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No,
Yeah, but
we definitely draw the line somewhere. And I don't like this either,
mhm. It's not
especially
great,
because it's
but I'm not.
Miami, especially because the
Yeah,
Stephen Ross guy sounds like an absolute douchebag.
that true,
Um, I don't
true.
like any of it. I truly don't.
It's kind of sleazy.
It's kind of sleazy. Flores, he was. You guys are in the same championship group back in New England, and
Yeah,
I didn't. I feel like you were playing a part in his demise in this situation,
I feel that
and I'm definitely Team Flores with all of that.
for
So
sure.
not a great look for Tom, but we'll continue to monitor this situation.
Yeah.
We
It's the thing
will.
with the NFL, man. Like these situations, they
They're
shit could be
ongoing.
so different. Yeah, in
They're
a month from
ongoing, man.
now, like it'll be
They're
some
ongoing. I
completely
mean, this
different
broke
news.
literally today.
Yeah. Ah, man, I just hope tomorrow it's not fucking Mac Jones has a fucking a slave trafficking ring that we don't know about. Ah, man, like, can we get some good news out the
Yeah,
NFL for
right.
once for
Yeah.
like just a day, bro? Like
Yeah.
something positive, but it's the sickle league. Like we said, it's our guilty pleasure. We can't help it.
I need
But
to see Mac Jones best shape of his career.
Mac Daddy,
No.
I'm excited for the Pats. Am I really excited?
Football's back.
The Pats, I just
Hall
hope
of
they're
Fame
not
games on
boring
Thursday.
again. I know the PFT had the perfect. I don't know if you heard the last episode.
Oh,
Now
the
we're
training camp one
now we're turning
where
into
they're talking
fucking
with talking about
uh
the training camp.
Barstool spokespersons. Yeah, when he was like,
That was
I
so
forget.
funny.
He's like, I
I
forget. I
was
hate
laughing
that.
that entire Mount
That
Rushmore
shit was so
thing
bad.
session.
He was like, I forget the Hall of Fame game sucks, but just because it's on the calendar, you get excited just for
Yeah.
that simple fact. And I was like, yo,
Right.
that's facts. But yeah, football's back, man. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. That shit is
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Word to Lenny. September 11th. Let me stop. All right. Um, we can move on now. Now we can get a little fun. We can get a little crazy
Oh
here.
yeah, I'm excited because there's gonna be surprises right here for me.
So, did you see Ric Flair wrestled his last match the other night?
So bro, I just randomly seen that he's fucking bleeding. There's a bunch of band-aids on. Undertaker's in the background, just completely
Yeah,
concerned for his
Undertaker, Bret Hart, and
well-being.
Mick Foley were like
Yeah, but
standing
yep,
together.
I peeped Mick Foley too. And then Ric Flair's talking about I don't remember half of it. It's like, okay, that's not good.
It was bad. So
Yeah, what was that? What even happened? Because I didn't
my
know that was even
cousin,
happening till it happened.
my cousin Dave found a stream that we could watch it on for free. And now the federales will be at his door ready to arrest him because I just accused him of illegal
Pirating
streaming.
streams.
I
Oh
could have just
shit.
said I watched it. But anyways, he threw it on in the Discord chat and I was like, whatever, it's free. Like, let's
Yeah,
watch. We'll laugh at this. I couldn't watch. It
it was
was
bad.
yeah, he's like 100 years old. He's absolutely out of his mind. He starts bleeding. He blades. Wrestlers bleeding, and you'll hear more about this on podcast Suicida this coming week. Um, those guys have been killing it.
Yeah, for
Last
real.
episode just dropped. When this comes out, it will be 2 days ago. Uh, but he blades. So like when the wrestlers take the chip, they make themselves bleed. When you see a wrestler really bleeding from their face, it's
Do
because
they have like a little blade or
they'll
something?
yeah, like a little razor clip that they just chip their little bit of their skin so that a lot of blood can come out and it looks
Mm,
cool. And
yeah.
Rick does that, of course, because it's Ric Flair and he has to bleed in like every match. And yeah, he's like 70. How old is he?
He's
75?
old as hell, bro. He has to, yeah, for sure,
He was
70s.
old when we were like babies.
Right.
Literally.
That's a good point.
Literally.
Yo, how old is
Like
Ric
in
Flair,
2000,
man?
he was old.
If he's 80, I'm gonna be sick.
No, there's no way.
He
He's
he's
73.
73.
He
He
looks like
looks
he's
older though.
95 because of the drug
Yeah.
use and years on the road.
Oh,
But
true.
yeah, Ric Flair last match. It was it was a match, I guess.
Who did he
I don't feel
wrestle?
bad about it. It was a tag team match. It was him and like his son-in-law, his daughter Charlotte. You know Charlotte?
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard of her.
She's like dating or married to, I think, this guy Andrade, who's pretty sick actually, this Mexican wrestler.
Okay.
Versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Do you remember Jeff Jarrett? He would hit people with guitars.
Mm,
Maybe not. He's not a big
nah.
deal to the casual wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was the match, and yeah, Ric Flair wins, which is weird because wrestlers should go out on their back, which is like him versus Shawn Michaels was the perfect send off. And then
Yeah, that was perfect.
he's wrestling 14 years later.
Like that's so random. Like what?
It's so random. It's a guy, I mean, he's obsessed with himself. He needs the limelight.
I just
And
seen a quote. Drink Ric Flair drinking every night before last fight. I'm no good sober. Jesus.
yeah, it's not fun. People are very much enabling whatever is going on here,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and also it's weird because it was less than a year ago, I feel, or maybe a year ago, where Dark Side of the Ring, a wrestling documentary series that's not run by WWE, so they hit you with the real
Mm,
dirt on these wrestlers.
I
Like
might actually
he
check that
got
out.
Rick like got canceled for like
Oh,
um sexually harassing flight attendants. Like this woman pleaded her
what?
case, like told her story on national television, and now he's like
I
we're
didn't even know that.
celebrating his career like less than a year later. It's kind of weird. And then it's not the first thing. There's the Teddy Long. Go look up Teddy Long on Ric Flair on YouTube. Everybody knows Teddy Long if you're our age. Like you're about to go one on one with the
Player.
Undertaker. Yeah, yeah, play. It's gonna be a tag team match. Yeah. One of the only black guys in wrestling when you go way back into the '80s, and he talks about Ric Flair calling him the N word.
Wow.
So I don't feel bad about being like, yeah, he looked like shit last night. And it's weird. He's just uncancelable for some reason. Some guys can just do whatever, and then
Charles Barkley
we all
effect.
forget about it. But no,
But
no, no,
Barkley's
no.
a good guy though.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Barkley will be like, oh, that player's a douchebag, and people are like,
Right,
oh,
right.
fire him. Like, no, it's
Uh-huh.
not like what I just said. Like Ric
Yeah, no,
Flair's
they're
broken
they're
many
two different
laws.
guys for sure.
Um, but yeah, that was a match. But it
Wow.
was so sad. I had to click out. I couldn't even watch it. I was like,
Yeah,
this is
that's
pretty brutal. Because Sebastian was like, I'm not watching that shit. I'm like, oh, come on. It's right there. Like, you don't even have to leave your house. Just get in
yeah.
Discord. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I text him. I'm like, this is pretty brutal. Uh, but yeah, that's
Oh
Ric Flair's
man.
last match. Here's another one. Did you see Breaking Bad? They unveiled statues in Albuquerque of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. Did you hear about this?
Wow, I didn't hear about
All right, let me
this.
see if I can pull it up for you real quick.
That's actually amazing.
So it's amazing, but there has been some
Oh no.
uh
Is there
should
pushback on
fictional
this?
characters be getting statues made
Statues
of them? Fictional characters that are in fact meth
that are
dealers.
actually back.
They're not great human beings.
Ah, damn. I support that shit, man. That come on. Albuquerque, like what else do you guys got going on? Like if we being
Well,
honest.
that's the thing. That's the counter argument, and it's oh, think of
Like I literally would not know
all of the
Albuquerque.
income,
Yeah.
all of the tourism that it has brought
Yeah.
to the because I myself
It's a
definitely
good
want to visit
point.
someday. I want to see Los Pollos Hermanos. I want to see Walter White's house and all that shit.
Yeah,
Like
for
I want to
sure.
see this stuff for sure someday. And that's why I'm cool with them getting a statue. If it truly they would not just give them a statue just because oh it's a good show.
That's
But
a great show.
here we go. Now I can here we go.
See, there's always gonna be weirdos, man, who like why is that upsetting you? And I'm sure there's people who are legitimately upset too with that. It's like, ah, come on, man. Walter, if I
Walter,
love oh, here we go, a little screen sharing.
Walter, put your dick away, Walter. I'm not having. Do you still hear me? Just
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sure this
yeah.
works. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, we're good, we're good. POR.
it's from the New York Post.
I'm bullshitting.
See that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, this man, oh, he's a fucking legend, man. Man, I love that shit. Keep that
It's
statue
very
up.
cool. Yeah, that's
That's
very
such a
cool.
damn. That's a cool statue too. Like that's actually like that statue's actually fired. So I'm not even trying to just be on some dick sucking shit. My fault, Jesse.
Yeah,
Man, like
Jesse
yeah,
is
bro.
looking
That's
fly. Jesse is
facts.
looking fly.
Little blazer, the Chelsea boots. Okay,
Yeah, it's been
Jess.
a while.
That's man. I Brian Cranston and Aaron Paul. Yup, those are the
Bronze statues
guys.
of mythical methamphetamine
Yo,
cookers,
I
Walter
love
White
that.
and Jesse Pinkman, were installed at the convention center in Albuquerque on Friday to celebrate their Breaking Bad TV series and its entertainment legacy, winning applause in a city that played its own gritty supporting role. Yeah, that's a thing too. People say the people there, if the people there don't have an issue with it, we shouldn't
Right.
either.
Hell yeah.
Um,
That's great. I love that,
so you're
man.
pro statues of fictional people as
Pro
long as it's
statue.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Pro, like if they, yeah, I'm pro. Pro all of that for sure, for sure.
I just love that a child who goes up to it and is like, "Who's that?" And oh, it's from a
That
TV show. Can I watch it? Like,
was
I feel like that conversation is gonna have.
the best meth cook this country's ever seen, kid.
I hired the two best hitmen west of the Mississippi.
Oh man, it's just bro. There's so much. Like I love how you'll randomly send me clips
I've been doing
of
it. Yeah, I've been deep
all these
into it because
scenes, man.
I'm
I
almost
love it
caught up in
though.
Better Call Saul, but I've been an absolute addict of Breaking Bad
I
for a
can't
minute
wait
now.
to watch Better Call Saul for the sole purpose of Mike. Just
Oh, you're
like
gonna get so much Mike. He's basically the
yeah,
second main character. It's really
I
him and Jimmy.
see.
Those are the two main characters of the show.
I'm
You're gonna
looking
get
forward to that.
so much Mike, and there's a lot of fun along the way. But there's no Walter,
Yeah,
so it's not quite as good as Breaking Bad,
it
but it's
can't
still
be.
good. It's still
It
really
can't
good.
be.
It's still really good.
No, I'm gonna
But
tap in soon.
yeah, yeah, good stuff there.
I like that.
Moving on. Did you hear anything about this? I guess we won't spend any time on this if you haven't, because I barely know anything about it. And it's
Okay.
a conversation people probably didn't expect. You never thought you'd hear a Bill Russell conversation followed by a Ric Flair conversation followed by this, but Nicki
Oh.
Minaj's manager exposes her on social media. You kind of heard about it.
I seen like a post. I seen the academics post on Instagram, but I didn't like look too much into it. So what happened?
Interesting. Well, I guess she like fired her manager over some bullshit or something.
Okay.
Um, or not manager, but something like that.
Some
Some lady who
someone
deals
guy
with
on
her
her team.
finances actually.
Okay.
And it's a woman. It looks like it's a white woman,
Mm.
but she's just like, I saw this Facebook thread and is this ever gonna end? I'm going through it and I click out and it's like 65
What?
tweets this lady made or post on IG she made like on her story,
Oh
and it's
shit.
her just killing Minaj on
I mean,
everything under the sun. And I kind of believe I never understood the hype around her. I'm
Nikki's
not
kind
gonna
of
judge
top,
people.
bro.
I'm not gonna judge people's taste. This isn't even about people's taste in music or her as an artist, but just her as a person. Like, I don't see the. It's not like she was the first female rapper
Yeah.
and
I mean,
all that.
I ain't gonna lie. She definitely like she got some hits. I'm not gonna lie. Like Nikki as a
Sure,
rapper, she like that monster
sure,
verse. She got it. I ain't gonna lie.
sure. But even there, her as a musician, I find a little overrated. And this lady just went through it. Like the
She
people
was.
she's tied to, some of the monsters in her life. Like, isn't her husband like a registered like sex offender or
I feel
something?
like I've heard something about that. I
I mean, I
remember.
don't
I
want to
mean,
talk out of school here, but
she was beefing with a fucking baby. Remember that?
yeah, right.
Like
And then the shit she
legitimately
was
trying
saying
to
during
fight a
COVID,
baby. Yeah,
like
I think it
the
was
about
Stormy. Kendall, not Kendall.
her cousin's
Kylie and
balls exploded
Travis's.
or something. And
Wait,
you remember
wait,
that?
what?
You don't
Wait, what?
remember what she said about the COVID vaccine? Like it made my cousin's like balls explode.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's actually a tapped individual. So
Yeah, and it's like
definitely not no role model.
there's not a single piece of like real whatever. I won't get into it, but like hers,
Yeah,
like her body, like it's all fake. I
Drizzy
remember
loves him some Nicki.
what'd you say?
Drizzy, that's sicko. He loves him some Nicki.
Yeah,
And
the
oh,
lady
she did
brought up
she?
Driz too.
Uh-oh. See. By the way, Driz got COVID. Feel better, big dog. I gotta shout out my guy real quick. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I
yeah,
did see that post though. But man, Nikki is like you're like 50 years old now. Just chill.
yeah.
Like, why are you even trying to stay relevant still? But
Yeah, we'll monitor the situation. No, we're not. We're not gonna monitor this situation. You might.
right, we'll play closer to weekly
If we had
updates on
Callie or
this.
somebody on right now, they'd be able to set the record straight on this probably.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's all I had. Besides, one last question: gay son or thought daughter? No, I'm just kidding. Let's. You
Oh
don't
my
have to answer
god.
that one, but I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna
All
leave it
right.
in.
Yeah, definitely leave that. I'll maybe next week I'll have an answer for you. We'll see. Bro,
But
I've been
yeah,
getting
that's all I
this
had for you
call
today. What's
real
up?
quick. I've been getting this call from an 855 number for like 2 days, bro. And I've been declining it.
855.
It's like it's
What's
a
that
one.
area code?
I have no idea, bro. I'm kind of scared because
There
like
are
I've
any
been,
voice messages, voicemails.
bro.
You
I
checked your
no,
voicemail?
they don't even leave voicemails. That's the
That's
weird
weird.
part, right? And I'm like declining it because I know sometimes it'll be you'll answer and it's someone just talking in fucking Japanese and they're just chatting, bro. So I will decline it because I'm like, it's probably that.
Luigi.
But they keep calling, but they're not leaving voicemails. Then I tried the little trick I learned where you put the number in Cash App to see like if a real person pops up.
Mm.
They do have a Cash App profile, so
Oh,
I don't know what's going on there,
you
bro.
want to call them on the pod right now?
Should
Can
I
I call
call
them
them?
live on the pod and throw them up to the mic and put them on speaker?
Fuck it.
My phone just starts ringing. I hope I didn't just get you murdered.
I think hello? Do you hear that? Can you hear that?
I
It's
hear
like
yeah.
I feel like someone answered.
Yeah, they're just breathing over the
It's fucking
I hope
Walter.
I didn't just get you fucking murdered, man.
Nah, I mean, they have my number, so I'm already, I guess, in somewhat of danger. So I guess I don't
I'm
have too
already in
much
danger, don't worry.
to call him back. If I mean, if whoever's on the line, just say hi to the Richie and Mecco connection. All right, I'm at this call. That's fucking weird, bro. If they call in like in the next 10 seconds, I'll answer.
It's
But
Denisio.
yo,
He probably listens to this. What's up, Denisio?
yeah, facts. What's Oh man, is that it,
It's
Gabe? What else
Mildred.
you got for me,
It's
bro?
it's
Because
nothing else from me, man. Hey, special thanks guys for listening and
for
stay tuned
sure.
next week for special guest Mildred Collins. I'm just
We
kidding.
got a panel of Mildred Collins, Denicio. Let me
Come
just
on,
stop.
give me a couple more. Give me a couple more before we go.
Trying to think. Now I'm choking. We got fucking that.
Who can I say that is funny but also
That's
will never hear
horrible.
this?
Yeah. Let me chill. I was gonna say something ridiculous, man. Nah. All
You can
right.
say it
Yeah.
off the pod. You can say it off the wait, you
I
want to
might
say it?
text. I was gonna say some sick shit. No, it's
You're
bad. It's
pulling a
bad.
Devin right now. It's
It's
so
it's
bad you can't
it's
even
bad.
say
Yeah,
it.
it's
Anything.
actually bad. I'm not gonna
All
lie. It's
right.
bad.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will definitely see you
Yes.
next week. RIP Bill Russell, and
Mhm.
shame on you, NFL.